Okay, guys, so today we're going to have a Google Hangout with current Vanderbilt students so that we can speak with any admitted students, our new class of VU 2020. And today we have current students and me from the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And my name is Juliana Staples. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions. I've been at Vanderbilt for many years. I was a student and I graduated in 2008 from the College of Arts and Science. And today we want to talk about lots of different topics from academics, balance, diversity, Nashville, and more. We're going to cover lots of topics, and also you get to hear from these guys. So kick it off, Han.
Hi there, my name's Han Dewan. I'm a junior here in our Blair School of Music. I play viola. I'm actually doing a 3+2 program where I'm going to get my Bachelor's in Music and then my MBA from our own School of Management. And I'm from upstate New York.
Cool. Hey everyone, I'm Long Adams. I'm a sophomore here in the College of Arts and Science, studying political science and philosophy, and I'm from Evansville, Indiana.
All right, hi guys, my name is Christina. I'm from Wheaton, Illinois, and I'm currently a sophomore in Peabody College studying Human and Organizational Development and Spanish.
What's up, y'all? My name is Nick Sparkman. I am a junior from Huntsville, Alabama. I'm in the School of Engineering studying computer engineering with a second major in mathematics in the College of Arts and Science, and I have a minor in engineering management.
And Nick is very glad that I exist because I admitted him to Vanderbilt.
Yes.
You're welcome, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Also, I'd like to hear from you guys. What's one word you would each use to describe Vanderbilt?
I think probably if I had to pick just one word, I'd probably go with opportunity. Opportunities abound here.
I'm going to go with tasty.
Mine is vibrant.
And I will say growth for a variety of reasons.
Okay, good. That's great. Now we want to hear why you guys love Vanderbilt so much and why people should choose Vanderbilt.
Sweet. I guess I get to kick it off. I think a big part of why I really love Vanderbilt was something that I didn't know very much about when I started looking at schools, and that was the city of Nashville. Actually, a little bit of an embarrassing story. When I was coming down for my audition, because we auditioned for Blair, I actually booked an extra day to be in town so I could go to the beach. There's no beach in Nashville, which I learned very quickly after I told my mother that. And as I learned more about the city, beach or no, it's just an amazing place to be a student. And I really fell in love with being a music student in Music City. There's just such a vibrant scene here, and not just country music. It's just kind of going along with all the opportunities that we have on campus, everything that I've gotten to do off of campus as well in terms of going to concerts and being a part of different musical events around the city. It's just been so great.
Yeah, kind of bouncing off of that, I think really why I chose Vanderbilt was a kind of geographic diversity. So on my runs, I can run around campus, so you get that collegiate feel. You have grassy areas with your quads and everything. But you also can run through suburban areas in Nashville and also urban. So not only when I'm running, but just day to day, you can go out and explore a coffee shop or a new food truck, but also hang out and throw a frisbee, around campus. So really, that geographic diversity was really cool.
Yeah, I came to Vanderbilt just for the balance of life. I felt like out of all the schools I was looking at, Vanderbilt had the most going on, both sides, academically, extracurricularly. And when I was in high school, I loved all my extracurricular activities and doing everything outside of the classroom. So that was something I was really looking for in college. And since coming to Vanderbilt, it's definitely been one of my favorite parts, that there's just so much going on campus and so many opportunities to get involved, both academically and different things through the classroom and with professors, and extracurricularly.
I would say I chose Vanderbilt not for great reasons. It just was an amazing school, and I knew I would love Nashville because of the food here. And I do love the food here. But I would say the most important reason that I've really enjoyed my time at Vanderbilt has been the community of support, which I guess could take a variety of forms, but for me has been everything from the Center for Student Professional Development, which gave me a full mock interview when I was applying for jobs, and that was just so helpful, to for instance, tons of the students go to the cultural, we have a bunch of cultural celebrations that happen throughout the year, like Diwali, Cafe Con Leche, Harambe, and I've been able to attend all of those, and they're always so fun, and it's just such an awesome showing for people supporting each other's cultures and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So Christina mentioned something about really loving the professors. So I'd love to hear maybe a great interaction that you've had with one of your professors, Christina.
Yeah, definitely. So I was in my first year writing seminar when I was a first year student. And if you guys don't know, all you admitted and prospective students, first year writing seminars are like writing classes at Vanderbilt for freshmen, but they can be in any subject around the school, so like any department. So mine was in the anthropology department, and I had this really cool professor. The class was about cultural assimilation of immigrants coming to Nashville. So my favorite experience was that since the class only had 15 people in it, we got to have these roundtable discussions with like college age and young adult people who immigrated to Nashville. And it was a really cool experience to get to know my professor because he had actually just come over from Germany a couple years previously and got his American citizenship while we were in the class. And then just to talk to these other people who had immigrated at various points throughout their life and just learn about their experiences and learn about the Kurdish immigrant population, which is pretty significant in Nashville, but that otherwise I don't really know how I would have gotten to know that population.
Great. All right. Anybody else have a similar story? Go.
Yes. Okay, so one thing that has been very surprising, I guess, to me about college in general, and I think it might be a Vanderbilt specific thing, is that even though I'm an engineering student, all of my professors here at Vanderbilt have been so amazing at not only like the technical side of teaching, but also the personal side of teaching. So for instance, I had my second semester here, my first year, I took a Intro to Statics course, and my professor, Professor Tahir in the engineering school, she took the time for each of the 3 exams that we had over the course of the semester to schedule an appointment with every single student in the class, and it was a bigger class at like I think 35 students. So yeah, that was a huge difference for me because I had never had a teacher pay such specialized one-on-one attention to me before, and in those half-an-hour meetings with my professor, I really couldn't escape the things that I was struggling with, and but luckily she was there to help me. So basically, I think that those interactions, which she kind of initiated, helps me do much, much better in the course than I would have done otherwise. But also, I just made a professor who's a friend.
I know, Han, you're in the Blair School of Music and you interact with your faculty a lot in different ways, like lessons and everything. So do you want to tell us about how that kind of works?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing in Blair because that kind of one-on-one interaction is really built into the fabric since you're taking lessons and with the same professor for all 4 years. So it's been pretty amazing, especially with my primary teacher, just the kind of relationship we've gotten to build, and as a studio with all the other violists here. One of my favorite stories is about a viola dinner that we had. So all of the studio, so all the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors who play viola here went over to our professor's house one night for dinner, and she helped cook, and some other students helped cook. It was a delicious meal, and afterwards she totally just wiped us out on Wii Sports. Like, I don't know how professors have enough time to get that good at Wii Sports. We didn't stand a chance. It's just pretty awesome to have somebody who, like, I respect so much, who's taught me so much, and then to have that more casual interaction, too, and to be able to really build that bond. And I was feeling kind of homesick that weekend, and it just really hit the spot.
Yeah, one of my political science professors invited us all to her house for dinner this Tuesday, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, what are you guys going to eat?
I don't know. She's a vegetarian, so she's going to cook us a lot of vegetarian food. She also says her specialty is a chocolate sauce to put on ice cream, so also looking forward to that.
Okay. So, Long, I know you actually had a really cool experience with one of your faculty heads of house. Your freshman year on the Commons where all the first-year students live. So can you tell us about that? And also, where are you right now?
Yeah, so, okay, I'll answer the first part of your question. I live in Stambaugh House on the Commons, and our faculty head of house is called Alice Randall. Yeah, Christina lived in Stambaugh too last year.
Bam, bam!
Yeah! But Al Pal, as we call her, hosted a weekly event called Stambaugh Soirees, where we would go down to her apartment in the house every week on a Wednesday night and get to talk with people in our house. That's how Christina and I met. But we also get to know Al Pal, and she found out that I was really interested in television production. And so one day, out of nowhere, she texted me and told me she used her connections within Nashville to get me a freelance filmmaking job. So this was kind of out of the blue. I didn't ask her to do this. She just did this because I think, she really cared about how I was doing. and this of course helped with my professional development. But kind of along the lines of TV production, I'm in the Vanderbilt Television studio right now, which I thought would be cool to show all of you admitted students. I'm really involved in Vanderbilt Television. Something recent, this is why I describe my Vanderbilt experience as tasty. I've invested a lot of time in a cooking show lately with a lot of my friends, and we actually just got picked up by a food blogger in Nashville to make videos for him. So we're going to be getting paid. This is another like freelance filmmaking kind of thing, but we'll be filming with him next weekend. I'm really excited. So everyone follow Southern Fatty on Instagram.
We're going to follow it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, good. So a lot of you have said a lot of wonderful things about Nashville already today. So I guess I was kind of wondering, what about Nashville really surprised y'all?
Well, a funny story I have is that everyone thinks when you come to Nashville, you come to the South, you're going to eat barbecue all the time, but I actually came to Vanderbilt and became a vegetarian. So I don't get to eat any of the barbecue or hot chicken or any of that anymore, but it's been a cool experience, and there's actually a really cool growing vegetarian vegan scene in Nashville. They're hosting Veg Fest at the Student Life Center here at Vanderbilt next weekend, and we have a vegetarian cafe, Greens, on campus. So even if you don't eat meat, you can still enjoy the cuisine of the South.
I could speak to this a little bit. Sorry, Long, do you want to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. One thing that surprised me about Nashville, I knew that there would be a lot of historic music that maybe there were a couple museums for or something, but I didn't really understand that music is still so alive and present in Nashville. And I learned this my second weekend at Vanderbilt when, so just south of the Commons is a little part of Nashville called Hillsborough Village, which is super awesome and cute, and you should definitely go there a lot if you come to Vanderbilt. But we were, some friends of mine and I were going to a restaurant that actually pairs with Vanderbilt rather, in the Taste of Nashville program, where we get to use our Commodore card as kind of a debit card there, which is just super convenient because that money usually comes from parents rather than from the students. But on our way there, in Hillsborough Village, in the middle of in the middle of a road that was kind of like an offshoot to the main road through the village, I guess, there was a country music concert happening in the middle of the road, which the restaurant was on the other side of. So we literally had to maneuver our way through the middle of a haphazard concert that we encountered just to get to dinner. So music is unavoidable in Nashville, but it's an amazing thing because everybody is so talented here. So,
yeah, Nick mentioned the Taste of Nashville program that Vandy has. I think when I first came here, I was also surprised at how much investment Vanderbilt puts into having the students be active in the Nashville community. So my freshman year, we have these raffle systems that are put on by CityView, which is city and then VU, so it's a pun on Vanderbilt University. But it's a raffle for all the students, and Vanderbilt will pay for students to go off campus and do something fun in Nashville. So last year I got to go see the Book of Mormon Broadway tour. I got to see the Country Christmas filming in November, so I got to see Idina Menzel perform at the Bridgestone Arena. I also got to do cooking classes at Whole Foods. But Vanderbilt paid for all of this, so all expenses paid. They paid for buses, they fed us, and paid for the show tickets and everything. It was really awesome that they pushed students to get off campus like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here. Just to add to what Long said, we also have something called the Commodore Cruise program at Vanderbilt, where Vanderbilt just gives away free tickets to stuff. And I won tickets to the last 2 Hunger Game premieres, a traveling production of Wicked, and also One Direction when they came last fall. But I gave those tickets to someone who might enjoy them more. But still, I won them, and that's what's important.
Man, I mean, I was about to complain that I never win anything, but then I remembered that as a Blair kid, I was able to take a scholarship trip to France, so I'm not going to complain. Everywhere on campus, even if you're not lucky.
So we already heard a little bit too about Long and Christina, definitely are standby alums from the Commons, first year experience. But maybe Nick, could you tell us what your first year experience was like?
Yes, absolutely. So I lived in North House my freshman year. My North House rocks, and that was an amazing community. So I'll give an example. there's the Commons Cup competition that happens. Basically, it's a year-long series of competitions between all the houses, kind of like the House Cup if you're familiar with Harry Potter. But I served on my house's quiz bowl team because there's like a quiz bowl component to the Commons Cup, and I was expecting kind of similar to what I had in quiz bowl in high school, which was maybe one or two stray grandmothers would show up to the match or something. But the Common Center the day of the Quiz Bowl, and half of my house, literally half of my house is there. There's like 160 people in my house. Like 80 people were there filling every single seat in the spectator like group for the Quiz Bowl competition. So that was just like an totally unexpected like community vibe that I got out of my first year Commons experience. That because I love so much, I actually served as an RA in North House the year after. And got to live there again and kind of give that back to other students, which was really cool. And also, Alpal is really cool, but I have to say, P. Bars is my favorite faculty head of house. He's a professor at Blair. Actually, he's an ethnomusicologist, which I had no idea what that meant before I came to Vanderbilt. But just because I lived with P. Bars, Professor Gregory Melchor Bars is his like actual name. But just because I lived with him, I learned so much about his field of study, which I wouldn't have otherwise. And he's also such a cool person that he got nominated for a Grammy for his work as an ethnomusicologist a couple of years ago. And when he was at the Grammys, he shared an elevator ride with Beyonce, and she asked for a copy of his CD. So the faculty heads are actually really cool people.
Okay. Well, I'm really jealous of that. but does anyone want to tell like a story about how they met a good friend at Vanderbilt? Someone maybe that you met on the Commons or someone you met from far, far away? I think Han has one, so shout out to you.
Especially as a music student, we spend so much time kind of like holed up in practice rooms or just hanging out with our music people doing our music things. And the Commons was such an amazing thing to have freshman year, where I would come home at the end of a long day, have a little bit of homework, and I could just sit, because every floor is a common area, I could just sit and make friends. I have some great friends that I've never had classes with, never been in a club with, who I just happen to meet, because each floor of the Commons is kind of like its own little Vanderbilt microcosm. You're going to get to know athletes, you're going to get to know econ majors, engineers. It's just so amazing to have that connection right from the get-go. Whereas normally it could be easy to just kind of gravitate to people studying the same thing as you. The Commons really forced me to kind of get outside that bubble, and I really have some of my best friends still that I met just on my floor.
Okay. All right. What is your favorite class you've ever taken? Thinking.
I took a really cool Spanish class last semester. I'm doing a Spanish minor mostly just to like keep up my ability to speak Spanish, but now I'm at the part in like the track where I just get to choose Spanish electives. So last semester I took a class called Spanish Cultures and Civilization, and it was really cool because it was basically the history of like the Iberian Peninsula, which is like Spain and Portugal, from like the ancient Romans to the present. And it was like taught entirely in Spanish. So it was really cool just to learn about like Spain and all the different things that that country has done, especially because my professor grew up in Spain and went to college in Spain before moving to the U.S. It was cool to get her perspective, and the final for the class was that we explored like a contemporary social issue in Spain. So I did mine about educational reforms after like the fall of their dictatorship. And it was just a really cool experience to get to use Spanish and the Spanish language and like Spanish culture to explore something that I'm interested in.
I'll jump in. My favorite class, I'll say I have two favorite classes this semester. It's like probably I've taken too many classes at this point, just choose one. One is my Intro to Number Theory class in the math department. And that's just a pretty standard like lecture, notes, homework, tests kind of class. But it's really, my instructor is amazing. But my other favorite class at the moment is called Enterprise System Design. It's for my engineering management minor. And the entire course essentially is I'm in a project team for the course of the semester, and we are working with a real life client to essentially like consult and help them solve some sort of a problem. So it's giving me great experience, like real world, real life experience. So for example, my project is that my teammates and I are helping a university in Pakistan, in a pretty agricultural area of Pakistan, develop a business incubation center so that women there and graduates of the university as well can get the necessary infrastructure to start their own businesses. So this is like a real world project that I'm getting to work on, not only as a chance to learn so much, but also as a chance to do something good. So that's something I really like about that class that I'm in right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about 2 classes I'm really looking forward to taking. So next semester, they're opening up a U.S. elections class. It's abnormally large for political science classes because they feel like a lot of people are going to join, but they have that every 4 years, of course, when presidential elections come up. And 2 of the most well-esteemed political science graduate professors are going to be teaching it. So when y'all register for classes this summer, definitely keep your eyes out for U.S. elections. I'm also really looking forward to taking a class called Soul Food. It's actually taught by Al Pal, who's the head of house. But she actually published a cookbook called Soul Food Love. I think it was published about a year ago. She recently just won the NAACP Image Award for that cookbook she wrote with her daughter. So I'm really looking forward to really getting hands-on learning about soul food history, but also probably getting to cook some as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Long's making his Vanderbilt experience even more tasty.
Yes.
as we speak. Well, it's been really, really great talking to all of you admitted students. I know you've enjoyed it, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one last thing to say, which is anchor down. Woo! So it's been really great talking with you guys. If you have any more questions, you can always talk with your admissions officer, the Vanderbilt admissions blog. You can also email current students through our tour guide page. There's so many ways to keep in contact with us, to get your questions answered, and to learn more about Vanderbilt. So we hope you've had a great day. We definitely have. It's been good to see you. Have a great day.